Hello, and a very warm welcome to the qualifying round of round 10 of the Formula E Championship. We are here in the streets of Paris. I am Aaron, joining alongside me is Mahindra's reserve and assistant commentator Bxno. We'll get along with the qualifying shortly, but right now we'll get Bxno to go over the track layout.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Paris is one of the harder tracks on the calendar with a total of 14 turns and 2 long straights, with a length of 1.2 miles, with the start line being located right after turn 2. Paris also features one of the longest and tightest pit lanes on the calendar, with the pit lane beginning after turn 13 before coming around a tight hairpin and then rejoining the track just after turn 14. We'll now get Aaron to go over the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship.
The championships for the drivers include Dakar in first place, Hofla in second place, ahead Kenny Benny in third, fourth is Horizon, fifth is Super Funny Max, sixth is Sengstam, seventh is Kakira, eighth is Lanor 4, and ninth is Choco, and 10th is Sonic. Constructors' Championship, leading in first place is the Audi Sport Schaeffler team with 278 points. 94 points behind is the Nissan Edams team, then BMW I Andretti, Panasonic, Geox, then Venturi, the Neo Formula E team, DS Chichita, Envision Virgin Racing, then Mahindra Racing, and finally HWA Racelab with 4 points.
Very much so, and we will now quickly have a look at the groups for qualifying. In Group 1 will be CJ for HWA Racelab, Geordie for Envision Virgin, Lano04 for Mahindra, ahead Kenny Benny with the BMW I Andretti, Al Nuno for Panasonic Jaguar, and Super Legend for DS Chichita.
Then in the qualifying groups for 3 and 4, Kakira in the Nissan, Patraco in the Audi, Shot in the Envision, Lanor in the Neo, Tabaz in the HWA. And in Group 4, Sengstam in the Nissan, Riley VA in the Mahindra, ZR70 in the Venturi, Super Funny Max in the second Venturi. Actually, Adrian is in the other Venturi, and Herdman in the I Andretti.
Thank you very much. As Group 1 now begins, we will now hop on board with Super Spinala, also known as Super Legend, as he now comes past the start line. And into turn 3 he comes, hits the wall slightly, but this is his outlap, so he can make as many mistakes as he needs to on this.
Sorry, I am having some technical issues. I will be back shortly.
Well then, as of now we will stay on board with the DS Chichita of Super, as he now comes around the start line to begin his lap, but as he does so, spins it as he comes around. As again, Super now comes around turn 2 and spins it again.
For people that are new to this series, there's 4 qualifying groups, and each group lasts 6 minutes. The top 6 drivers after the qualifying groups end will go into a Super Pole shootout, which they will do 1 qualifying lap.
Very much so, and as Super and the Chichita probably won't be able to set a good lap time yet, as he's so far spun it twice this lap.
Luckily, there's no rain today, so that will be... It might be a good thing for some drivers, although we were told the braking was quite easy for Dakar in the rain, so it could also be a hindrance now.
Very much so, as we'll now hop on board with Kevin, who is in place of Lanor, who couldn't be here due to dinner. as he comes past turn 9 on the long straight.
Having a little bit of losing the rear end around these corners. Could be a method to try warming up the tyres.
Yep. Kevin now coming past the start line and past our building. Into turn 3 he comes. Takes a lot of curb, oversteers it heavily.
Was quite slow through that sector, but I imagine that's the speed a lot of people will be going. Currently with a 50.6, which is not a good time compared to the time being set in qualifying. No, practice yesterday. Comes around and sets a 45.8. Quite an impressive time and a good improvement on his last.
Currently up into second for now. This time he's doing a bit better through the corners than he did on his last lap. Yet again, more oversteer.
Takes them 2 turns much faster this time. As this is a very short track, a lot more laps have been gotten in this session.
Very much so. It's basically like Monaco. Monaco is also a very short track for these drivers. And with a shorter track, these drivers will be able to get more laps in, which means more opportunities for them.
But it can also be a hindrance, as there's a lot less to lose if you mess up one lap, as you can easily set another lap.
Very much so, as Kevin now hits the wall.
Lucky not to lose a front tyre there.
Indeed. Yellow in sector 3, it looks as if it was for Capitan, who's now got going again this time, so that's good. So far the drivers in the 44s, except for Kevin, who's about 1 second slower than Al Nuno.
But he will be looking to improve on this lap time by setting a... Ooh, not a good improvement. Only 4 tenths difference. That's a 45.4. Kevin being very lucky not to lose a front wing with the speed he's going into these walls at. Hopefully in the race he does not make any of these mistakes.
Yep, indeed.
Oh, and Kevin has a big hit. Still keeps his front wing intact.
That is... Yep.
Yeah, there's some durability. There's some durability on that Mahindra of his.
And he hits the wall again slightly. Had a bit of an oversteer moment into turn 2, so...
Takes these corners well.
But will Kevin, with a 45.4, be able to get into Super Pole? I would say it's quite unlikely at the moment, unless he can improve.
Yes, the times yesterday were around the 43s and 44s, but as some of the chat are saying, the rain is likely to be... The rain being gone is likely to help the drivers a lot, gaining a few seconds even.
As Kevin has crossed the line, he doesn't improve, so that could well be his chances of Super Pole eliminated.
And Capitan's at a 43.5, slower than our fastest lap yesterday, but that would have got him in P2 during the first practice.
Indeed, as we'll soon be preparing for Group 2. Currently in Group 2 will be Jonathan for Neo, Sonic for Geox, Daka for Audi Sport, JG for Panasonic Jaguar, TDM Fan for Geox Dragon, and Chocolate for DS Cheetah.
Our sheets do not show Chris Niels, but I believe he will also be driving during this. qualifying session. As no cars are lining up now, we will get along with Group 2 shortly.
Okay, as we now have cars lining up at the end of the pit lane for Group 2.
Any minute now, we will get along with this group.
As 2 more cars now make their way to the end of the pit lane now for Group 2.
Oh, and Mahindra seems to go out when the red flag is gone. Don't know what he is doing.
A little strange for Mahindra just to drive through a red light.
I believe that was Kevin. That
Well,
may...
But from
be a
my
penalty.
screen, Kevin's in the garage, so maybe he probably was driverless for somehow.
Ah, okay. Any minute now.
Indeed.
So only 4 drivers, I believe, in this session.
Yep.
Chris Niels, Dakar, Sonic, and TDM Fan.
We'll quickly jump on board with Dakar for the first bit of this session.
Any minute now. And the lights go green. Dakar being the first out on track, he will... And also being one of the fastest drivers, he will probably pull ahead by quite a bit. Mahindra stuck on the track. Hopefully we can get that cleared.
Yep. Very important to get that cleared up this rate.
Dakar taking very wide lines. This might be his way of getting more track length. Just to have more time to warm up his tires.
Very much so. And this circuit is quite short, so they'll have a lot of laps to try and set a good time in. As Dakar now comes through the final corners to begin his lap. Dakar taking a lot of curb on that.
And his lap is starting now, I believe. Yes.
And immediately on his out lap, he's already second, so that is very impressive. As Dakar loses his rear end.
Takes a much closer line this time around. Although don't forget about the Geox behind. He seems to be catching up.
Very much so. As Dakar now enters turn 10. Very fast line. He comes down past the final corner. And he's quickest. And he's quickest. As
first person going to a 42.
As Dakar does hit the wall at turn 2 and spins it around.
TDM Fan goes second quickest now with a 43.2. Only 4 tenths behind Dakar.
So far the slowest is Chris Niels in the Neo. With a 45.6.
Yes, he'll be looking to improve on that time.
So far Kevin is out of Superpole, so fortunately that's chances ended for him.
Yes, the top 6 for Superpole right now include Dakar, TDM Fan, Capitan, Sonic, Supra, and Al Nuno. Dakar going... The car doing some Tokyo drift around these corners, it seems, might be the easiest way to get good exit.
If that's what he thinks, then we'll probably see that a lot during the race later on today.
Hopefully he doesn't drift into a wall, as we seen him do that yesterday.
Pretty much so. And that was just pretty much his practice ended.
And, oh, Jesus Christ. So it's a 42.098. Once again, the fastest lap we've seen so far.
Very much so, as we will jump on board with TDM Fan, who's left turn 9, now on the second longest straight of the circuit.
Currently with a 42.9.
Into turn 11 and into turn 12. Quite a fast slide he's got through these corners.
Does he
And
improve?
oversteers it into the wall as soon as he
That-
crosses the turning line.
That is not an improvement. His time was a 43.5.
He's gonna hope to try again this time as he exits turn number 9.
Let's see. Quicker on them last few corners. And sets a
43.2.
surprisingly not an improvement. He did look very fast.
Yes, he did indeed. Currently 1 minute 20 seconds to go.
The car going on another outlap, fast lap. Although even his outlaps are deemed fast.
Very much so. On his outlap, he was already second. That just shows his pace around this circuit.
Sonic currently in third place. That's quite an improvement.
Very much.
And Chris Neal's. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you.
And Chris Neal struggling to improve on his time. Cannot get into the Super Bowl
He's
shootout
currently
so far.
2 tenths off of Al Nuno. If he can manage to beat 2 tenths, or even better, try and gain up to 2 positions, he does have a higher chance of staying in Super Bowl.
They do seem to be scared of going near the corners as they do go very wide.
Indeed, as we'll jump on board with Dakar for the last few bits of this session. Onto the long straight after turn 9. And
Does
into
actually improve on his time.
turn 10, turn 11, and turn 12 now. And then
Goes
past
on
the
to
timing
12.
line, he just gets past the timing line in time, so you'll have 1 more lap. Except he's now. Except
No,
he's
this
now.
is the timing line here.
No, that's the start line. The finish line's right after turn 14.
Wait, at the finish line? Wait.
It's offset. It's offset.
I know that, but is the start line where their lap starts?
Start line is where they go for the grid.
Okay, so the finish line is where their lap starts and ends for qualifying.
Yeah, start line is just
Okay.
basically the start race. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it seems as if Dakar had slowed down, so it looks as if he's not going to be able to. He's not going to be
Oh,
completing
and he's
this
put
lap,
the
and he flips it over the curb.
Oh, and he uses his hydraulic press to push himself back up.
That's the power of Dakar for you. Whenever
Yeah.
you flip over, just flip back over again.
Just-
As we now see Group 3 begin lining up. A quick run over of Group 3 again. We have Kaikira in the Nissan E-Dams, Patrick Kurt in the Audi Sport App Schaeffler, Scott in the Envision Virgin Racing, Lionel09 in the Neo, and Tib Boz in the HWA Race Lab.
An update on the Audi project user is going to be taking that Audi seat for today's qualifying.
Very much so. It'll be interesting to see how he goes.
So Lenore09 also on the grid. Someone is not in their car, they've just left it there.
I mean, we've seen Project Chooser come 9th in Free Practice 1, but in Free Practice 2 he's come 7th, so we'll see how that experience comes out in today's qualifying session.
Just bear with us. The third group session will be beginning shortly.
And at the minute it looks as if we have a few technical difficulties with the camera system.
Yes, very Charles Leclerc-esque.
Very much so, as they now begin Group 3 of this session. We will quickly jump on board with Project Chooser in the Audi. As Project Chooser will now be coming past turn 10. And soon will be beginning his flying lap. As he now comes past turn 13, oversteers it and hits the wall slightly. But now begins his lap past turn 2.
Still sets a 44.6.
I mean, fast. Surprising, drivers are starting to get faster on the outlaps than some of the drivers in this session already. Project Chooser up to 7th already, ahead of Al Nuno, Chris and Kevin.
Project User should have an easy time to get into the top 6, if that is the time he sets. Trying to get on an outlap.
This will be very interesting to see.
Tabaz will be someone to watch out for as well, as they set a very good time in FP1 yesterday.
Indeed, as Project Chooser goes up to 6th place, ahead of Super.
Improving on by 2.2 tenths. So yes, Tabaz currently first person in this group to get into the the 43s. Setting a 43.8.
Very much so, as we all now jump on board with Kaikira in the Nissan, as he hits the wall as soon as we spectate on him, so a little disappointing for him.
Yes, Tabaz goes into 3rd place with a 43.1. Oh, and Lenore beats that by 600s.
Very much so, as Kaikira now comes past turn 3 into turn 4. Very smooth so far.
Definitely one of the strongest qualifying groups we've had so far.
As he hits the wall slightly, so that's a bit disappointing.
May lose about 5 tenths maybe.
And the HWA behind him also brushes the wall slightly as well, so...
Neither improve on their time.
Sadly not, but now we will jump on board with Lionel09 in the Neo as he comes past the start line.
Currently with a 1... Oh, Project User goes 3rd, beating Lenora by 2,000.
That is close.
This track has, due to the shortness of this track, the margins are much closer than any other track.
Kira goes into third, just 3 thousandths behind TDM fan.
God. Oh yes, Jesus Christ.
Everyone is getting close this session with each other's times.
Kakor, I don't know what I'm saying there. Kakira can be very fast, but does make a lot of mistakes during his drives. So
that could prove costly during today's race.
Oh, and Project User goes second with a 42.7.
As Kaikira now goes also second. 6 tenths behind Daka.
So currently, as Super Bowl stands, Dakar Kakira, Project User, TDM Fan, Lenore, and Tibot.
"55 seconds of the session remaining. As Kaikira now comes past the final few turns to begin his lap.
Kakira, yes. Does not. Oh no, never mind. This is his lap now.
This is now his final lap.
And collides with the walls.
Hits the wall.
Yeah.
He won't be able to improve or be able to get P1, but still, he'll be able to get to Super Pole with P2.
The next group will be Sangstam, Riley, Mellow Adrian if he arrives, Super Funny Max, and Herdman. Not sure if Lenoro 4 has driven yet. He might also be racing.
Kevin has a replacement main group.
Oh, yes, yes.
As we will soon be getting ready for the final group of this qualifying session before we move on to Super Pole.
A penalty though for going on another lap.
Oh, that is yeah.
If he he is arriving in now. I believe if he improved on his time, he might have been.
Or if he actually stayed out, then he would have got a penalty, no matter if he actually improved his time or not. As we are now preparing for Group 4, as the Mahindra Riley now comes out of his box to line up at the end of the pit lane.
No other drivers currently in their cars.
Melodic Adrian is now just joined, so he'll probably be driving as well now.
For that second Venturi seat, along with Super Funny Max.
Indeed. So far, Mahindra are currently last in 12th place, but their early chances of Super Pole is with Riley at this rate.
I don't remember Riley's place, do you? From FP1.
From what I know, I don't think he was an FP1. I'll have a quick check, and no, he wasn't an FP1.
Oh yeah, he was. Hopefully we can expect some competitive times from him.
As there's only going to be, by the looks of it, 3 cars that are going to be taking part in Group 4.
It means we're missing out on Herdman and Sangstam for this session.
As we will go on board with Riley and the Mahindra.
And the lights are green, so they will now be allowed onto the track. Hopefully we can see some good outlaps by the 3 drivers.
Indeed, as they now exit the pit lane and past turn 2 they come. We'll go on board with Riley in the Mahindra. From what we know, Riley hasn't had any practice, so he's probably going to have this outlap as he goes wide and hits the wall.
We might be seeing a lot of that as it is his first time learning the track.
He's going to have this outlap and pretty much the rest of qualifying to set a good time and learn the track.
Might be able to set about 6 laps maybe? 7 laps. So hopefully one of them will be quite good.
Indeed, as he now comes past the start line. A little slide as he comes out.
51.3. Melodic Adrian up on his first lap with a 44.1. Quite competitive time.
Up in 9th at the moment. As Riley goes a bit deep on the brakes. But now he'll come past into turn 9. He needs to have a really good exit, which he does.
Quite a clean lap by him.
And now into turn 10. And then turn 11. So far so good.
To get. A little bit loose around the corner, but sets a 45.
45.0. Quicker than his teammate for now. Oh, quicker than his teammate now, actually, but it's the wall there, so this lap won't be an improvement for him.
Super Funny Max goes ninth with a 43.7.
Indeed, as we'll now jump on board with Melodic Adrian. Looks as if he's starting his lap. Past turn 2. And out to turn 3 he comes, a little deep on the brakes but keeps it out the wall.
The pace difference between the top drivers and these can barely be seen, to be honest, as the lap times do look so close and we don't have live coverage of the times as they go across.
Indeed, but now Melodic Adrian now coming around the final turn. Will this be an improvement lap for him? He is currently tied on times with his teammate.
But currently not competitive enough to get into the top 6. They will need to gain about 6/10.
Indeed, as both Venturi teammates have set a lap times of 43.73. Oh, and Max goes quicker by 0.001.
Oh my. What? These drivers are... It's incomprehensible how close that time is.
Indeed, and usually you'll get matched to your teammate based on the times you set.
As they are your biggest rival, no matter what.
Indeed, and to see these teammates posting such close times just show how competitive they are.
Currently Venturi sit in... yes, 6th place, 1 point behind Geox Dragon. if they can continue to be right beside each other during the whole race, then they might be in for some good points.
Indeed. As for the final few minutes of this session, we will jump on board with Super Funny Max, as he now comes past turn number 9. Right in front of him is the Mahindra Riley, currently at 11th. As Melodic Adrian goes ahead of his teammate at 9th.
By 9. Yes, 0.099. Oh.
My game's frozen.
My game's frozen as well, I believe.
I believe we have a few technical difficulties.
This might go south.
I'm gonna get a quick screenshot of the times while I'm at it anyway, so they don't.
Yeah.
But by the looks of it, the game has crashed.
The server, rather than this is not good.
By the looks of it, we have a few technical difficulties. We'll be back as soon as we can. Confirmation from race control when the session will be restarted. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to coverage of Paris E-Prix. From race control, they will be giving one lap to Group 4 to improve their lap time. As of now, they are currently on their out lap, as Riley's going to be the first of the 3 people to set a good lap time. And if they don't improve their lap time, they will keep their lap time from the previous, from the times screenshotted.
Okay, currently Riley with a 44.3. That does not make it into the top 6.
Not at all yet. If so, it will probably put him down 12th.
He's struggling on this lap. It's not going to go well.
Actually, it would keep him on his current position actually, but he now comes past, hits the wall slightly. That's going to cost him some time. But they now all come round all together at the final turn. 43.7 by Melodic Adrian. And Super Funny Max and I think by the looks of it, it's going to keep with their current positions.
And they're reversing into the track as told, which is good.
As the cars now make it into the pit lane, with the Super Bowl cars now beginning to line up. Those in Super Bowl are Dake, Kaikira, Project User, TDM Fan, Lano09, and Turboz in the HWA.
So past that, in 7th place will be Sonic. 8th place will be Capitan. 9th will be Melodic Adrian. Yeah, 10th will be Super Funny Max. Oh no. Yeah, 10th will be Super Funny Max. And it's staying the exact same as before thing. So Riley in 11th, 12th Supra, 13th Al Nuno, 14th Chris, and Kevin is in 15th.
Indeed, and it's both Audis into Super Bowl as well. Alright, and Daka is now preparing to go as he now exits the pit lane.
I probably set a really fast time on his out lap anyway.
As of now, he is preparing to get ready for his flying lap. As he now comes past the final few turns. Going a little slow, but that's probably to prepare himself as he now floors it and begins his flying lap.
Turn 3, quite clean.
Turn 2, passes.
Oh, it's turn 2, yes.
Now comes past turn 3.
Turn 3, quite clean, doesn't hit the wall, quite safe around there.
He's also staying away a lot from the curves as well, because that could, depending how you use them, it could make or break your lap time.
And also, depending on the track, it can either send you flying, or you might even get stuck in them, we've seen before.
Very much so indeed, as Daka now comes past turn 10. And now past the final few turns. Will it be quicker than his group lap? 41.9.
Yeah.
Beating his lap by 0.1.
The other drivers will have a tough time trying to beat that. Kakira now going on his hot lap. I cannot spectate, I'll be right back.
Kakira now comes on his out lap. Can Kaikira managed to do a 41.962 or lower?
Did I do? Almost
If they set the exact same time, the car will keep his pole position.
As it looks as if Kaikira hit the wall and was trying to reverse out of it, so that probably...
We've seen this
probably
happen
hold up the
before.
session a bit. As he hits the wall slightly, but yet again this is his outlap. He now comes past the final few turns.
Oh, nearly spins.
Lights up the rear tyres. As he comes past turn 2 into turn 3, he goes a little deep on the brakes there. Almost hits the wall.
As we've seen before, Kakira seems to struggle on these one laps.
Indeed he does. Takes a little bit of curb on these corners, hits the wall there, but it was a light brush. And now past turn 10, hits the wall again.
Hits the wall again.
This will probably not be a good lap for Kaikira as he spins it.
As he... Oh, God.
Spins it.
Sets a 45.8.
4
He will be
seconds
hoping
left.
for someone to struggle more. A lot of F's in chat right now.
Very much so. Project User is next. Project User is next as he leaves the pit lane now to begin his outlap. Unfortunately for Kaikira, it might look as if it looks as if he'll be starting 6th today.
He'll be hoping for someone to mess up their lap.
Very much so.
Project User seems to be acing these corners right now. Oh wait, this is Zola.
Very much so.
Sets a 47 on his outlap, not a bad time.
As he now comes down the long straight and into turn 3. Locks the brakes a little bit, but still manages to keep it out the wall.
Seven.
Past turn 10 now, manages to keep it out the wall as well. As we now see him come round the final few corners, a 43.0.
The second fastest time, I believe. Oh no, never mind.
Second
believe
fastest
TDM.
time for now.
For now, yeah. I don't believe it's the second fastest time in the session though.
TDM fan now begins his outlap.
Oh, TDM has stopped on the track.
And he's shut off his battery by the looks of things, so he's probably
Oh, his controller, his controller has died.
His controller has died.
Oh,
As he
wait.
now gets back moving again.
Very tight line between there, going quite fast in that sector.
As he'll now come around the final few turns to begin his lap.
Hopefully his controller doesn't die again.
If it does, then it'll be game over for him.
Very close to the
tight.
wall, Jesus.
Very tight. He's managing just to keep it out the wall. He's trying to use the walls as much as he can without hitting them. And then past turn 9, hits the wall
Oh,
there.
hits the wall. Lots of tenths missing there.
Very much so. He is currently a little bit up on Project User, but a little bit down in Sector 2. As he now comes round, he's only going to be third fastest.
700 slower than Project User.
He had a faster Sector 1 than Project User, but if he hadn't hit the wall, probably would have gotten a P2.
Lenore 09 will be now going under hot lap. Out lap.
Indeed, as he now comes round the long straight into turn 3. Right, as he now, Lano now comes round the final few turns to begin his lap and is immediately quicker than Kaikira.
Oh yes.
So if he can keep this pace up, he's likely to get P2.
Let's see. Even P1? You never know these sessions.
Takes a bit of curb there.
I am spectating the wrong. Who is driving? Oh, Lenore. Okay.
Yeah, Lano.
I was looking at Tabal. I was wondering why he wasn't moving.
Now comes around the final few turns.
Quite a clean lap by him at the end. Sets a 43.2.
Fortunately, not quick enough to beat the TDM final Project User, and now the final car that we'll see is Tebos in the HWA Race Lab. As he now exits the pit lane to begin his outlap, the final car we will be seeing in this qualifying session.
I will be leaving you with Bxno to do the end of the session.
Alright then, as Tebos now comes past the long straight to do his to finish up his outlap in a bit. As Tebos now begins his outlap, his flying lap, now comes past turn 2. So far, so clean. A little bit of a rear tyre light up as he comes through turn 4, but now into turn 5, turn 6, hits the curb too much and half spins it, but now into turn 9. Is he able to recover some time here? Only time will tell. A little bit slow coming out of turn 10, but now into turn 11, turn 12. Now comes past and into the timing zone. He won't improve on his lap time. And that will mean Daka is on pole for today. And that concludes today's qualifying session. First on the grid will be Daka with a 49.3. Second will be his teammate, Project User, with a 43.0. TDM fan from Geox Dragon will be in third. Lano09 for Neo will be in fourth. Tebos in the HWA will be fifth, and Kaikira in the Nissan will be sixth for today's race. Following on for the rest of today's grid, 7th will be Sonic, 8th will be Capitan, 9th will be Melodic Adrian, 10th will be Super Funny Max, 11th will be Riley, 12th will be Super, 13th will be Al Nuno, 14th will be Chris Niels, and 15th will be Kevin O'Math. It is a confirmed early front row lockout, and later on we will be broadcasting you the race start at around 10 to 8 later on this evening. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to qualifying, and we'll see you later for the race.